Okay, hello everyone, and welcome to today's presentation featuring the MBA MPH Collaborative Degree Program. My name is Rebecca Mueller, and I'm the Assistant Director of Recruitment over in the School of Management. So I'll be your main contact for anything MBA related. And today I'm joined by Keenan. Keenan, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, everyone. I'm Keenan Gibbons. I am the Assistant Director of Graduate Public Health Programs and really excited to talk to you today about our great MPH MBA combined degree program.
Excellent. So one of the first things that we want to kind of address with you is why would you want to combine an MBA with an MPH? Well, there's some really great bullet points here that I just want to run through real quickly with you. You can develop effective leadership, teamwork, critical thinking, and communication skills. It also allows you to tackle societal healthcare challenges using applied foundational management skills, helps you to understand the interrelated role of healthcare policy development, facility management, and strategic planning, allows you to apply that analytical skills to understand the delicate balance between health outcomes and efficiency. You can also really network with alumni and leaders from both top healthcare organizations around the country, as well as folks from our MBA program. And then, of course, being able to immerse yourself in the diverse community of full-time MBAs along with your MPH. So just some reasons why it might be a good idea for you to combine the two. Now, when it comes to the timeline of the program, you do need to apply to both programs separately. So if you're admitted into both programs, this timeline shows if you were to do an MBA program first. So basically, your first year would be MBA, just your core courses. Your year two would be a blend of MBA and MPH coursework. Year three would just be MPH. But you can do your MPH first and then do your MBA and then have your mixture of electives and capstone. Is that correct, Keenan?
Yes, that's correct. So you have to do your MBA. I know because it's cohorts, you have to do your MBA year as a single, your first MBA year as a single block. However, the MPH can be either at the beginning or sprinkled at the end.
Perfect. Yeah. So it can be flexible to no matter which program you start with. So when it comes to the MBA program itself, we really aim to maximize your return on investment with these foundation building core courses and career targeted electives. It has been developed with input from corporate recruiters, alumni, faculty, staff, and career experts. And our MBA core curriculum focuses on that breadth of management core courses to provide you with the skills and knowledge to be a successful manager in any industry. And just like Keenan was saying, our first year, our core year, you really have to do it all in 1 year because you're part of a diverse cohort as well as a small team who work together across all classes. So you do have to do a full year of that and then sprinkle through your electives throughout the rest of your time, in MBA, MPH. But in addition to course and teamwork, a lot of MBA students choose to engage in other action learning opportunities, which I'll touch on a little bit later. But there are things like Leader Corps, global programs, case competitions, a variety of different clubs that you can do, and more any type of action learning. A lot of our students do participate in an internship for hands-on experience and professional networking. The School of Management practicum does satisfy the MPH program requirement for a field experience, and we will help to place you in an appropriate venue and provide academic oversight of your academics and deliverables. And the School of Public Health and Health Professions will collaborate with us to identify and evaluate appropriate venues for those experiences and develop appropriate criteria to assess your work. Pass it over to Keenan to talk a little bit about your full-time MBA MPH core curriculum.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, so the MPH is comprised of 6 different concentrations. They include health service administration, epidemiology, environmental health, community health and health behavior, biostatistics, and the individualized MPH. Those concentrations all have different elective credits, elective credits, but also different credits overall. However, overall, for the MBA MPH, you are still going to have that total of 48 credits. So just take note that the MPH core courses are about 36 credits. The MPH electives are 9 credits, and the MPH project Elective is going to be 3 credits. So within your electives, that's where you are going to be sharing the bulk of coursework between the MPH and the MBA. Just looking kind of a little bit at your year 1, or could also be year 3, fall semester, spring semester, you'll notice that you're taking primarily concentration course and foundational courses. And then those elective courses will again kind of be sprinkled in within that blended MPH MBA year. Next slide, please. So just touching upon shareable coursework. Oftentimes, most MBA, MPH students are health service administration concentration students. You do not have to be in this concentration. It's just the most seamless kind of marrying of the 2 curriculums. So just be aware that if you are pursuing another concentration, that you need to work with your concentration director, you need to work with your advisor, just to make sure that you're hitting your credits and that your shareable courses are approved. But primarily the MBA courses that can also be used as electives towards MPH concentrations are healthcare strategies and operations, health policy in the US, which is a required course for health service administration students, innovators in healthcare, new models in health delivery, transformation application and health management, and healthcare operations management. In addition to that, as part of your 9 total credits shared, you can also share up to 6 credits from public health applicable MBA and practicum. So Rebecca talked about this beforehand, making sure that your experiences are applied towards this. We have also had students who use things like Leader Core. So there is a lot of opportunity to still pursue the courses that you want while also being part of this dual degree.
So I talked a little bit about action learning before, but I want to kind of go into this a little bit deeper for you and talk a little bit about, why our employers are constantly talking about this need for strong critical thinking and problem solving skills. So we had a lot of options for our students that they're able to build upon foundational technical skills that, yes, those are important, but we really wanted to teach our students also how to attack a problem with creativity, insight, and curiosity to really make them stand out. So some of the experiential approaches that we take are through some of these action learning opportunities. So MBA program does offer an action learning component with something called Corporate Champions. Corporate Champions are representatives from organizations across the Western New York area who partner with teams of first semester UB MBA students to really help to strengthen the students' understanding of the world of business and their connection to it. Aside from that, there's also what's called MBA Leader Core. This is both a certification as well as an opportunity to earn a micro-credential. It's actually an award-winning MBA Leader Core program. It's selective. You have to apply for it, but it gives you both a personal and professional development journey that runs concurrently with your time in the UB MBA. So it first has you do an assessment to identify your competencies that you want to strengthen, and then creates a customized personal development plan. Then you're going to be working with faculty, staff, and external coaches, as well as alumni, to really engage in learning environment, focus on theory, practical application, and personal experiences that help to prepare you for future leadership roles. There's also a new project called the Projects Clinic. This allows you to amplify your skills while making a real impact. So this is actually something that you apply for and you actually get paid for. You'll be a paid student assistant in this Projects Clinic, where you can dive into hands-on real-world projects alongside our community partners. So it's basically multiple short-term projects throughout a semester that offer you a dynamic experience working with a variety of organizations. And then the final one that I want to highlight is the CoLab. This is our campus-based entrepreneurship and innovation center that really empowers students to realize solutions for the global and local challenges of our time. So it's kind of this part startup incubator and part idea sharing center that connects our students to mentors, events, funding experiences that will help cultivate the skills and mindset to build successful companies, to innovate competitively in careers within any organization. So there's plenty of different opportunities that you can do across both programs, but those are just a couple that I want to highlight within our School of Management. A little bit just about the UB community as a whole. You can see that UB has quite a few notable alumni. There are over 293,000 alumni across 150 countries, and obviously that grows each year and each semester where we have a graduating class. So our students have this huge network. And a lot of times our alumni are engaged, highly engaged with current students and participate in many networking events. They speak in classes and with clubs and serve on a variety of boards and panels. And you can also see here, our breakdown of just School of Management alumni, and then there's a QR code to learn more about, those distinguished alumni as well. Now, as far as campus living, campus activities are concerned, there are a lot of different ways to have fun on our campus, learning a new skill, meet others outside of the classroom through campus activities. So you can see here is just some of the benefits of it, the sports, the clubs, the size of our campus, just a different variety of things that you can do outside of the classroom. Now, this slide focuses primarily on UB School of Management student organizations, but you also have the opportunity to explore and join university-connected groups throughout the Student Association, where there's over 400 clubs, so there's a lot that you can do. But some benefits of joining student organizations are clearly going to be the networking opportunities. Student organizations are often hosting events, workshops, meetings where you can interact with professionals, alumni, and industry experts. It can be a really pivotal moment for you for building professional networks that can actually aid in job searches and career progression. Also, there's an opportunity for leadership development. So if you wanted to take on a leadership role in one of these organizations, that really helps our students to develop management, organizational, and leadership skills that are invaluable in their future careers. Thirdly, there's industry insights. Oftentimes, clubs and organizations have guest lectures, seminars, and interactions facilitated by student organizations that can really help provide that firsthand knowledge about current industry trends, challenges, and opportunities. And of course, it really helps build your resume. Active participation or leadership in organizations can enhance a resume, showcasing that you not only have an academic achievement, but also have these extracurricular involvement and skills as well. And it doesn't end there. MPH has their own variety of student opportunities as well.
Yeah, so as an MPH student, you'll have the opportunity to not only develop yourself academically, but also professionally. Many of our students have the opportunity to join organizations like the American Public Health Association, NISFA, which is the New York State Public Health Association. They have the ability to be inducted into Delta Omega Public Health Honor Society. Our students are able to be funded, or at least have the opportunity to be funded to attend and present at national conferences. They are also given opportunities to apply for student ambassadorships and graduate student associations, which are great ways to develop yourself professionally. Many of those opportunities also come as paid graduate assistantships. There are lots of opportunities to get involved with community projects, volunteerism, to get involved with faculty's labs and take the opportunity to earn and gain some research experience. There's also opportunities for global experiences, to work on public health projects abroad, as well as opportunities to present at scientific posters and presentations through our culminating project in front of your peers and faculty. In addition, the curriculum also integrates interprofessional collaboration, practice, and education into some of the courses. This allows you to really have hands-on experience working with individuals in other disciplines, in other fields, and helps strengthen your resume and your experiences for you to pursue a career post your MPH.
Excellent. There's also career preparation. So specifically within the School of Management, you have an opportunity to work with our Career Resource Center, but really having both your MBA and your MPH, you basically have two career resources both working for you. You have your Career Resource Center through just the University at Buffalo School of Management, and then you have the university-wide service as the Career Design Center. So two career offices working for you at one time. But I want to focus a little bit just on the School of Management piece for you. So some of the pieces that our Career Resource Center, or as we call it, the CRC, provides to you is they're super engaged with you even before you set foot on campus. They are engaged, they're committed to your success. You actually have like an MBA action item checklist during the summer before you would start your program. And they're going to work with you to help develop your career strategy, personal brand, and really hone the tools that you'll need for an effective job search and rewarding career. They also offer individualized coaching and career services to help you to define and achieve your goals. You can participate in a lot of their programs to make the most of your UB experience and really learn about today's job market and develop the competencies for winning interviews, amongst many other opportunities for you. You can also take advantage of what's called BizLink. This is an online career management system brought to you by the Career Resource Center for the exclusive use of School of Management students. Now, you're also going to have access to virtual power chats, and power chats allow you to connect with alumni and business leaders, and you're able to ask your questions to them as well. So you can hear more about their career path, their current work, and receive career advice from experienced professionals. Now, when it comes to the MBA admissions process, as we talked about earlier, you must apply and meet the individual admissions criteria for and be accepted into each program. So you need to be accepted into the MBA program and the MPH program. So it's two different applications. So to apply, you need to complete, at least on our end, the MBA MPH application. Applications do not have to be submitted concurrently, but they both need to be submitted if you want to be considered. So for the MBA program, I want to just talk about some critical dates for you. Applications for fall 2025 are currently open. Our MBA program does only have a fall start, so you really want to make sure that you're just paying attention to when things are due. Make sure you're adhering to the application deadlines and instructions, because incomplete and late applications will not be reviewed. So we typically accept applications all throughout the year. The biggest pieces would really be, our first round of admissions will be the October 15th deadline. But if you are looking for priority deadline for admissions, for scholarship consideration, you really want to get everything in by January 15th if you can. All other applications will be open for international deadlines. You have until March 1st. For US citizens, you have until June 1st. But again, we really are pushing folks to get their applications in by January 15th. And actually, the first application due date is actually October 15th, 2024. So I apologize for that error in there. When it comes to the application requirements, the first step is by completing and submitting your online application. So this is going to really serve as your dashboard for all of your other application pieces. This is going to be where you can view your checklist, upload your documents, and ultimately be able to view your admissions decision. And our admissions committee does review applications holistically. There is an application fee of $100, and unfortunately, we do not offer waivers of graduate application fees. There are some categorical exceptions that are made by the university, but they're only for those applicants who provide sufficient documentation of their participation. So if, for example, you are an undergraduate student in the EOP, HEOP, or SEEK program within New York State, if you're an undergraduate participant in the CSTEP, MARC, PrEP, RISE, LS AMP, or McNair Scholar program, if you're an applicant through Project 1000, an applicant through AmeriCorps, an applicant with U.S. military or veteran status, or an applicant who is a spouse of a U.S. veteran, feel free to reach out to me and I can kind of walk you through what documentation you would need to be eligible for an application waiver. Next thing we also need from you is transcripts. So you need to be able to upload transcripts for each college and university that you list in your application. Transcripts for all undergraduate credits, including transfer credits earned towards your undergraduate degree, must be uploaded for admissions consideration. And copies can be uploaded for admissions consideration, but admitted students will need to actually send us an official conferred transcripts to our office. You also need to update your resume. So submit an updated resume that includes both month and years of experience. In the MBA program, we do have 2 personal statements that we ask for you to complete. And the GMAT and GRE, we are test optional for, so you're welcome to upload your scores if you want to, if you choose to take those exams, but they are not a requirement. For those of you who may be international students, I ask that you reach out to me directly if you have questions on the international application process. So feel free to reach out if you fall into this category. When it comes to tuition and fees for the MBA particularly, you're going to find that you're really getting a great value for the education that you're getting. So when you're investing in your education, you really do invest in your future, and it's really hard to find a better value than at UB. We are New York's flagship, and as a public university, our tuition is typically only a fraction of the cost of attending a private college or university of comparable quality and opportunity. So taking a look at what the in-state tuition rates are, Here at the semesterly cost, you've got about $10,000 for your first semester, about $9,000 for your second, third, and fourth semester. So the estimated total program cost for the New York State residents is going to be closer to that $40,000 mark. But we do encourage you to check out the student accounts webpage for the most up-to-date information. But this has been updated as of July 2024. So this is pretty accurate information. For those of you who are non-New York State residents, or if you're an international student, estimated total cost of the program for non-residents is closer to $64,000. Again, this is just going to be for tuition and fees. And with these fees too, you need to keep in mind that when you're looking at this, remember you're doing one year in this program first, and then you're doing, the 1 year in MPH, and then the second year is then your third year is going to be kind of a combination of the two. So sometimes the tuition and fees are going to look a little bit different based on the courses that you're taking, but this gives you a general idea as to sort of what you can expect, at least for semester 1 and semester 2. When it comes to funding your degree, there are some options for this. To enhance the University of Buffalo's already competitive tuition, we do award scholarships, fellowships, and assistantships for our highly outstanding motivated students. So all awards in the School of Management are merit-based and typically are funded for some sort of partial tuition. All applicants are considered for scholarships that fall underneath the School of Management umbrella during the admissions process. So there is no additional piece that you need to worry about as far as filling out an additional scholarship application. When it comes to graduate teaching and research assistantships, they are offered each semester in a competitive process to a select number of qualified full-time students. Students for this can assist with school or university administration, teach or undertake research with faculty members. And although responsibilities vary by assignment, generally they're working about 20 hours per week and are given both a stipend plus a tuition scholarship. But these are not given throughout the admissions process. So if you're admitted, you would gain access to our online portals that would allow you to explore and apply for assistantships campus-wide. There's scholarships through other UB connected sources as well. So you can scan that QR code there and get more information on funding your degree within the School of Management. But that being said, I'm going to pass it over to Keenan to talk a little bit about MPH admissions processes.
Yeah, absolutely. So as Rebecca mentioned earlier, the MPH application is separate from the MBA application. Do you mind to go to the next slide? So just a couple of deadlines. Domestic students for fall 2024 admission is currently opened for an August 1st deadline. If you are planning to apply to fall 2024, my recommendation is to get in your application as soon as possible. Our priority deadline is July 15th. And when applications close on August 1st, we will be expecting that all application materials are in there. There's usually delay with transcripts. There is usually delay with recommendations. So just make sure that you're not waiting to submit HIT on August 1st. For spring 2025, admissions open on August 1st. We'll have a December 1st deadline. For fall 2025, admissions also opens on August 1st, and the deadline for that is August 1st, 2025, so next year. For international students, please note, for fall 2025 admissions, we have an April 1st deadline. Next slide. So the admissions requirement differs slightly whether you're a domestic student or an international student. Please note where the MBA application is done through the UB graduate application portal. The MPH applications are done through SOFA. SOFA is our centralized app, and all applications must be submitted there. For domestic students, you must have a bachelor's degree from accredited college or university, minimum GPA of 3.0, official transcripts, personal statement, resume, CV, and 3 references. There's a SOFA's application fee and a UB application fee. SOFA's application fee, I believe, is $143, and the UB application fee is $50. There are opportunities for waivers if you meet certain criteria. So if you think that you might meet a criteria and you want to reach out, please email me and I will direct you to the right person to request that. For international students, similar requirements. However, something to note is that official transcripts must be sent in along with the WES evaluation. WES evaluation is preferred because it is built into the SOFA's application. However, there are some additional third-party evaluators that we will accept. You need to email me to have clearance to use that and instructions on how to proceed with that. But please note that that is required for any international student who is applying with a degree from an institution that is not accredited by the U.S. by a U.S. accredited institution. Additionally, you will also need to submit English proficiency scores, barring that if you meet the exemption. So if you think that you meet an exemption for English proficiency, again, please just reach out and we'll determine whether you need to submit them or not. Next slide, please. So tuition and fees. As Rebecca mentioned, UB has a very competitive tuition rates. You're not going to find many tuition rates that are similar to what we have. And the value of education that you get for these lower tuition rates is really unparalleled by most other institutions. Next slide. So as a, in-state resident, tuition fees estimated for in-person is about $29,000. Something to note, those years that you are doing, just as Rebecca said, MBA, you will be charged MBA tuition, MPH tuition, and then students' accounts determines what your tuition rate is based upon sort of the split of courses that you're taking during your blended year. Something to note is that we do have 2 online programs for health service administration and the individualized. You are able to apply to that and take those courses for the MPH, although you're in person for the MBA. However, please note that if you are taking a blended semester, that student accounts will always defer to the in-person tuition. So just make sure that you're aware of that. And as Rebecca said, these are newly published rates. So this is the most up to date. Next slide, please. So as far as non-resident tuition and fees, its estimated cost is about $31,000 for the online and $56,000 for in-person. Next slide.
Okay, great. So if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us. So I'm just going to go back and put this up for you guys. So we have our LinkedIn's up there, as well as emails and direct numbers. So please feel free to reach out to us. Keenan and I work really well together. So if you have questions, the 3 of us can kind of work through it together on that. So we appreciate you so much for taking the time to hear more about the MBA MPH collaborative degree program. And again, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. But thank you so much for attending today. If you have any questions, we look forward to talking to you further. Thanks so much.